Hello dear learners, myself Dr. Antara Mohanto Borua, Assistant Professor in Electronics. I welcome you all to this module on basic training on repairing mobile of the online course Skill Development of the Youth and Their Livelihood. This module has been divided into 3 sections, namely mobile phone basics, mobile phone hardware, software and troubleshooting. The main objectives of this module are to explain the working principle of mobile phone, to identify the various components of mobile phone, to familiarize the tools and equipments required for testing a mobile device, and to detect common faults of mobile phone and to explain the faults repairing procedure. Introduction. Mobile phone has become an inevitable part of our daily life. People get habituated of smartphone in their day-to-day life as it makes our work easy. Today, people use mobile phones to stay in touch with friends, family, to share stories and photographs in social media, to carry financial transactions, and in teaching learning process. In 2021, it was recorded that the total mobile subscribers in India were 1.2 billion. Of which 750 million were smartphone users. Due to COVID-19 induced lockdowns, use of smartphone is rapidly growing and research predicts that it will rise to 1 billion by 2026. The life cycle of smartphone includes 4 stages, namely processing, production, usage and disposal. In production stage, smartphone produce 85 to 95% of carbon emissions by the device, which adversely impact the environment. It is estimated that the energy used to build a single smartphone is equal to the energy required to operate it for about a decade. Moreover, a smartphone has 60 different metals that can contaminate soil and water if not disposed properly. Discarded smartphones add to toxic e-waste, which then leach into the groundwater. India becomes the highest e-waste generation nations along with the other developed countries. Smartphones continues to 12% of global e-waste and it will abruptly increase unless steps are taken to counter it. So, the repairing of smartphone is the best way to reduce e-waste and it is better than recycling process. Earlier mobile phones were used for making phone calls. They had only the number pad. Now smartphones have much more facilities. They are a full-fledged computer that we can carry in our pocket. They can run applications and games, make videos and voice calls, send emails, use GPS navigations. They can support additional services, accessories such as Bluetooth, camera with video recorder, MMS for sending and receiving photos and videos, MP3 players, radio, USB, etc. Now, working principle of mobile phone. A mobile phone or cell phone is a long-range electronic device used for voice or data communication over a network known as cellular network. Cell phones communicate through radio frequency waves in the form of electromagnetic radiation. These waves are located between FM radio waves and microwaves. Cellular networks consist of cellular base stations, mobile telephone switching offices, and mobile communication devices. Each base station contains a radio transceivers and controller to provide radio communication to mobile units located in its cell. Now, what is cell? Cells are arranged in a honeycomb pattern as shown in this figure in order to provide local, regional and national cellular coverage. Each cell is served by a base stations that communicates with a mobile terminals in that cell. A number of cells are known as cell sites that will constitute a registration area, also called as location area. The base stations of all cells in a location area are connected by wires to mobile switching center. The cells are ideally hexagonal and typical cell radius will be 30 km in rural area and 1 km in thickly populated urban areas. The cell sizes are basically chosen based on the limit of subscribers or users per cell area. Hence, the cell sizes need not be uniform throughout the cellular range. The mobile telephone switch offices links to the calls together using copper wires, fiber optic cables or microwave technology and acts as central office exchange, allowing users to place a call on the local and long-distance public switch telephone network. The MTSO continuously monitor the quality of the communication signal and transfer the call to another base station which is better suited to provide communication to mobile device. In this figure, the base station is a low power FM transverse power amplifier along with hardware control unit. The mobile unit communicates directly with base stations and the base station serves as a high power relay stations. The base station is divided into two numbers. One is base transverse stations and other is the base station controller. The main function of the base station controller are radio network management, base station handover management and call setup. Now, what are the different sections of mobile phones? The basic components inside a mobile phone are a circuit board containing the brain of the phone, an antenna, a liquid crystal display, a keyboard, a microphone, a speaker and a battery. The main screen of a mobile phone is called the display. The various display types used in current mobile phones are liquid crystal display, in-plane switching liquid crystal display, organic light emitting diode and active matrix organic light emitting diode. Among them, LCD display is the most common one. Antenna of a mobile phone is inbuilt in the mobile cabinet and it is used to receive and transmit radio frequency. Microphone converts voice signal to electric signal during transmission. This signal is then sent to the audio IC. Battery is the source of power supply to a mobile phone. There are three types of battery usually used in a mobile device, namely nickel cadmium, nickel metal hydride and lithium ion. The CPU is the main control section of a mobile phone. It controls all the functions and does all the processing work. Speaker is used to produce sound for events like incoming calls, messages, alarms, etc. So this diagram shows the block diagram representation of a mobile phone. And for understanding the basic circuit of any mobile phone, it can be divided into three sections. One is receiving section, transmitting section and the third one is the logic section. In this figure, the composition of a smartphone has been shown. Application processor is a system on a chip designed to support applications running in a mobile operating system. A smartphone use system on chip instead of connecting separate chip on a PCB because it reduces cost, power and size and increases the performance. Next, baseband processor is a chip in a network interface controller that helps to convert digital data into radio frequency signals, which can then be transmitted over a random access network. It is used to manage all the radio functions of a mobile device. Now, digital camera that provides the major functions needed to preview, capture, compress, store, transfer and display digital images. Next, mobile softwares Mobile applications are consisting of softwares that runs on a mobile device and perform certain tasks for the user. The usability of mobile applications depends on the various factors such as screen resolution, hardware limitations, expensive data usage, connectivity issues, limited interaction possibilities, etc. Some mobile applications are installed in the phone and others users can download from internet and install it in the mobile platforms like Windows, Android, iPhone, BlackBerry, etc. Nowadays, the most popular mobile operating system of smartphones is Android. Android is the Linux-based operating system that comes in a wide range of models. These Android softwares link the smartphone to PC through the USB port and allow us to use and manage all the device functions. Most of the mobile applications using in different areas are based on internet. Some of the basic areas of mobile applications are communication, games, multimedia, productivity, travel, and utilities. Now let us discuss the hardware of mobile phone. Now the components. Mobile phone handsets are assembled with passive and active components. These are mainly SMT, that is surface mount technology components. That means the electronic components are placed on the printed circuit board with automated machine. Passive components. These components usually require no power for its operation. Passive components are resistor, capacitor, inductor and fuse. So here in this figure some schematic diagram of some passive components are shown. This figure shows the 3-digit and 4-digit SM registers. This figure shows a 10-tatum capacitor, the active components. These components required a power supply for its operation to generate some outcomes such as amplification, oscillation, signal control, etc. Such components are diode, transistors and integrated circuit. So here some active components are shown. We can test the passive and active components using a digital multimeter. To test a diode, we need to measure the diode resistance both ways using a digital multimeter by setting on ohms range for testing diodes. If we get 0 both ways, the diode is shorted, and if we get infinity both ways, it means the diode is open. If we get infinity on one way but some reading on the other way, then the diode is good. The transistors are mainly used for amplification of signals. There are two types of transistors. One is NPN and the other is PNP. It has 3 terminals, namely collector, base and emitter. So this is the figure of surface mount transistor. Next, mobile repairing tools and equipments. The basic testing tools used for mobile repairing phone are discussed here. This is the screwdriver. It is used to tighten or remove screws from mobile phone. There are many types of screw heads, of which most common are slotted, Phillips, cross point, square, hex, etc. Then multimeter. A multimeter is an electronic instrument capable of measuring voltage, current, resistance, etc. This figure shows the soldering iron. It is the soldering station. It is control station that includes soldering iron, desoldering tools and hot air gun. It provides adjustable temperature of the iron. It is the solder wire. Solder wire is used to make bond between metal workpieces. It has low melting point, usually below 400 degrees centigrade. This is a jumper wire. Jumper wire is used to connect one point to the other point on a PCB. These are the cutters, nose cutter, point cutter. This is a tweezer, which is used to hold wire and components. This is the brass used for cleaning. This is a surface mount network station. The surface mount device is an electronic device which is used to mount or place the components directly on the surface of the PCB. So this is the circuit connectors of iPhone 7 in the software. This is a DC power supply which is used to supply electricity. Now fault findings. In these sections, various faults of mobile phone are discussed. Before starting the troubleshooting, it should be noted that after opening the mobile phone, always check by magnifying glass whether any parts are missing or if the PCB is broken. Also, after completing the checking, clean the PCB by liquid crystal cleaner. Some of the common faults are mobile phone camera fault, internet audio fault, charging fault, display fault, no network, etc. Now let us see a demonstration of repairing a mobile phone. This is a speaker. It is also known as ringer. It is used to produce sound for events like incoming calls, incoming messages, alarms, or to play a song. This is a charging point of the mobile phone. This is a microphone. It converts voice signal to electric signal. It is a vibration motor. The function of this motor is to alert the user for receiving the calls without sound. It is a sub-PCB. This is a connector that connects the sub-PCB to the main board. It is a display connector. It connects the display to the main board. This is a camera portion. There are two cameras. These two cameras are backside camera. This is a flashlight that provides additional light, and in a smartphone, the flashlight generally uses LED lights to illuminate a scene. This is a front camera. It is a section of a earpiece. This is an electrical component that helps to listen sound during phone calls. This is a flashlight for the front side. And this is a headphone jack used to insert the headphone wire to this audio plug. This is a battery connector and this is a finger pin connector. These are the testing equipments, and this is a hot air gun used for disassembling microchips of a mobile phone. And soldering of surface mount components in PCB, it can be done more conveniently by using hot air gun. It is a soldering machine. This is a high-level microscope used for repairing mobile phone to enlarge the tiny components. This is a motherboard. The battery is already removed from this handset. These are the batteries of the iPhone 7. Audio problem is there in this handset, so audio section has to be checked. It is the motherboard of iPhone 7, and in this part of the motherboard, audio IC is there. With hot air gun, spray some heat so that we can disassemble the components easily. Remove the sticker very carefully. This is the audio chip. Solder paste or solder cream is used for disconnecting the pins of IC package. Now the audio chip is removed for checking. Here it has been seen that a link of IC node is disconnected. This button is for selecting the range of air pressure. The air pressure must be of the range of 4 to 5. If we apply more pressure, it may damage. This button is used to apply heat. We can also test the PCB connection by using software. First, we have to select the type of the handset. For this purpose, it is selected iPhone 7. These are the balls of IC pins for iPhone 7. These tracks are displayed for various components. This is an audio section. It is for hard disk SSD component, which is fixed with motherboard. The grey and blue color balls specify that there is no connections, and the yellow color represents that there is a connection, and software is used just to guide a technician.
अपना एक power IC.
This is a power IC section and this is the hard disk section. Though it is fixed with the motherboard, it can be repaired. It is the audio IC section and this is the Wi-Fi Bluetooth module.
Wi-Fi Bluetooth module.
In other side, there is a CPU, that is Central Processing Unit, and RAM, Random Access Memory. They are attached together forming a combo IC. Baseband chip is present here. It helps to convert digital data into radio frequency signals. This is the section for display ID, check nut, and this is for the charging IC.
Charging IC section.
These are the display and touch connectors.
Connector, it was a touch or fingerprint touch connector. It was dock. It is charging port, ringer, singer, mic side.
It is a camera connectors. Using soldering iron, the disconnected tracks of audio IC is repaired. It takes some time to make the connection. This shows the basic tools required for a lab of mobile repairing. This shows the soldering process where two or more metal items are joined together by melting a filler metal called solder into the joint. Same procedure is applied for repairing other ICs of a mobile phone after detection. Now the repairing of audio IC has been done. In the demonstration, we have seen how to repair the damaged part of a mobile phone. So we have now come to the end of this module. In this module, we have learned the basic skill required for repairing a mobile device. First, this module has highlighted on the working principle of a mobile phone. Then we have discussed the various sections of a mobile phone and the composition of a smartphone. We can now identify the basic electronic components connected in a mobile device. Various tools and equipments used for repair a mobile phone are also discussed in this module. We also have a knowledge of common issues encountered by a mobile device. I hope the demonstration given to you will help to learn the skills on how to repair a cell phone. Knowledge of self-maintenance of the mobile handset is necessary for common user. Thank you. See you again.